On the next All of It, journalist Shiori Ito. She became the face of the Me Too movement in Japan after she went public with rape allegations. The new documentary Black Box Diaries follows her fight for accountability in Japan's patriarchal justice system. Shiori Ito joins us to discuss. Plus, we'll speak with an expert about how to prepare for emergencies. I'm Allison Stewart. Join us for All of It, weekdays at noon on WNYC.
It's 6:51 and you're listening to Morning Edition. Marketplace Morning Report is next. And then on Morning Edition, Recreation Week is illegal in Texas. Recreation weed is illegal in Texas, but a loophole has been allowing hemp farmers to cash in on the cannabis industry for years. Now some Republican lawmakers are planning their next steps.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. When I passed that, I said, if you guys screw this up by being cute and getting people high from it, there will be consequences.
That story and more in just a few minutes on NPR and WNYC. .33 and clear right now, mostly sunny and 43. Cold tomorrow at 32 and cold on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, 33 and clear. This is WNYC. It's 6:52.
The latest on the LA fires.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Think or Swim. More at schwab.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benashor in for David Brancaccio. Los Angeles is starting the week with the prospect of strengthening winds and increasing fire danger, even as firefighters continue to battle flames that have already destroyed so many communities. 24 people have died. That number has been rising and could continue to rise. We're also getting new information on the number of homes destroyed, new estimates on the likely economic costs, and new policies to help with the eventual rebuilding. Marketplace's Nova Safo has the details.
In Los Angeles, 62 square miles, an area larger than all of San Francisco, has already burned. Inspectors have fanned out into neighborhoods to survey the destruction. Their task is urgent because it helps move the insurance claims process along. Meanwhile, California Governor Gavin Newsom over the weekend issued an executive order suspending certain permitting requirements to speed up reconstruction when the time comes. Newsom spoke on NBC's Meet the Press.
We've got to let people know we have their back. We're going to be back. We're going to do it efficiently and effectively because we want you to come back, rebuild with higher quality building standards, more modern standards. And we want to make sure that the associated costs with that are not disproportionate.
To that end, Newsom extended price gouging protections on things like construction and building materials and tasked state agencies with finding more ways to speed up permitting. Of the two largest fires, officials now estimate that some 12,000 structures, homes and businesses, have been destroyed or damaged. So far, inspectors have confirmed 2,500 are destroyed. The final price tag won't be known for a while, but AccuWeather estimates economic losses of up to $150 billion. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
President-elect Donald Trump's staff and Republican members of Congress are getting ready for day one of the new administration. They're preparing both executive orders and legislation for the president-elect to sign as soon as he takes office. As Marketplace's Kimberly Adams reports, immigration is likely to be an early priority.
Some of the early moves of the incoming Trump White House will be in response to the moves of the outgoing Biden White House, says Kathleen Bush-Joseph, a policy analyst at the Migration Policy Institute.
So I think that we can expect the Trump administration to be rolling back a lot of what the Biden administration put in place,
like expansions of temporary protected status for certain groups. Meanwhile, Congress is teeing up a controversial bill that would require detentions of undocumented people accused of crimes like theft or shoplifting, even if they haven't had a day in court yet. Doug Legore is with the Rand Corporation's Homeland Security Research Division.
The other sections of the statute have to do with states' attorneys general being able to essentially sue the federal government for releasing certain types of individuals from detention,
which Legore says would be pretty unprecedented. Republicans making these moves early sends a clear message, says Sarah Goodman, who teaches political science at UC Irvine.
What we're seeing here, even before Trump takes office, is immigration is not just a talking point. Republican leaders are very serious about delivering for their base.
And the election revealed immigration is very much a top issue for the GOP base. In Washington, I'm Kimberly Adams for Marketplace.
All right, let's do the numbers. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all down in the 0.3 to 1 2/10% range, with Dow futures down 124 points.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Palo Alto Networks. Palo Alto Networks delivers what's next in cybersecurity innovation to protect today's digital way of life. Learn more at paloaltonetworks.com.
Self-employed people that send and receive payments using things like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, they get a special tax form, something called a 1099-K. But they'd only get it in the past if they made at least $20,000. Now, the threshold has been lowered to just $5,000, and a lot more people could find one of those forms in their mailbox, even if they are not self-employed. Mark Stieber is with Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. He spoke with my Marketplace colleague, David Brancaccio.
If a person does contract work for pay, you've always had to report your income at tax time. But what is this 1099-K? I have not seen that one before.
The 1099-K has been around for a long time, and it was used primarily for payments made through any third-party app like, Venmo or PayPal. The reason you hadn't heard about it was because until this year, the threshold was pretty high for when one of those third-party platforms had to send a 1099-K to both the recipient of the monies and to the IRS.
All right, we're going to clear this up. What is it for this tax year that we're concerned about, which is 2024? It's like $5,000, right?
It is $5,000. They've considered it a transition year, so they've gone from $20,000 last year to tax year 24, the year you'll be doing your taxes here in a few weeks, to $5,000. Now, for tax year 26, the threshold is $600. And to be clear, those are locked in stone as the rule. So if you got PayPal money or Venmo money over $5,000, then you might get a 1099-K. Now, that's per platform. So if you use multiple platforms, you don't add them all together. It's $5,000 on that platform.
But not Zelle. This is a Zelle exemption?
Well, Zelle does not consider themselves a third-party platform, and whether you get one or don't get one, or whether you're doing side hustle business and getting paid this way, it's always been taxable.
What if you're selling an old sofa, an old lampshade, and it does accumulate, and it is more than $5,000? Could you get one of these for just selling stuff?
Absolutely. There's no rule because it's, a hobby or a side gig or part-time. If you're getting paid, unfortunately, it's a taxable gain, even if it's $1.
What about if my rich Aunt Sally sends me $400 on PayPal to get me through the month? How about that situation?
If you've got a gift or a payment, those are completely not taxable. And furthermore, you should not get that on a 1099-K. That being said, if you didn't fill out the platform activity correctly and you didn't put personal payments and they send you a 1099-K, you can either get an amended 1099 by asking the platform, or the IRS in their infinite wisdom have figured out how to put it on your tax return on a line and back it off on another line. But you can't ignore it if you get one because the IRS has it too, and they may not have all the facts and knowledge that you have.
Mark Stieber, Senior Vice President, also Chief Tax Information Officer at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and have a great tax season.
In New York, I'm Sabri Ben-Achour with the Marketplace Morning Report. From 8 p.m., American Public Media.